When it comes to defense budgets, in recent years Ukraine and Russia have gone their separate ways. Russia's vast energy resources have enabled the Kremlin to embark on a concentrated program to increase military spending. Russia currently has the third largest defense budget in the world. Since 2008, Russian defense spending has increased by 85% or over USD 36 billion. According to IHS Analyst, this upward trend is going to be maintained with defense spending estimated to reach USD 103 billion by 2019. Concurrently, in terms of GDP growth, defense spending will rise from 3.1% of GDP in 2013 to 4% by 2016 and will have more than trebled in nominal terms since 2007. Ukraine, on the other hand, has been struggling with its defense spending in recent years. Despite a legal requirement that set the defense budget at 3% of GDP annually, defense spending has consistently failed to meet the targets required for its modernization. This trend is unlikely to change in the medium term. Although the Ukrainian defense budget was increased by more than 15% in the 5 of the last 8 years in nominal terms, growth was limited to an average of 0.1% a year in real terms since 2006. Additionally, due to economic difficulties, the 2013 defense budget saw a 6.6% cut. With defense spending at USD 1.9 billion, Ukraine's defense budget is 35 times smaller than Russia's. When it comes to rotary and fixed-wing resources across all services, Russia again is capable of deploying a significantly larger number of assets to a theater of operations. The Russian Air Force possesses 1,142 fighter and ground attack strike aircraft, which will be matched against 260 platforms in the Ukrainian Air Force. Russian operations would also be supported by 142 bombers, with this capability non-existent in the Ukrainian Air Force. Airlift capacity for strategic mobility and troop deployments is of particular importance, especially for Russia, and here again the Russian Air Force is superior with 481 transport aircraft compared to 42 in the Ukrainian Air Force. Rotary wing numbers also favor Russia with a capacity to deploy 1,100 attack and transport helicopters. Ukraine, on the other hand, only fields 40 transport and 65 attack helicopters. Russia possesses a complete superiority in naval aviation, with Ukraine only able to deploy a small number of transports and MPA anti-submarine aircraft. Stationed in the Ukrainian city of Sevastopol, the Russian Black Sea Fleet comprises 40 vessels compared to 19 in the whole of the Ukrainian Navy. Both Ukraine and the BSF have one submarine, however this is where similarities end. The BSF fields 11 frigates, cruisers and destroyers, which is compared to only one Ukrainian frigate. Whereas Ukrainian naval operations can be supported by 6 corvettes and attack craft, the BSF can provide 11 in the category. The Russian naval assets in the Crimea are also better equipped to conduct mine countermeasures and amphibious landing operations, being capable of deploying 8 and 9 vessels respectively, compared to 5 and 3 ships on the Ukrainian side. When it comes to land platforms, both countries still rely on Soviet-era legacy equipment. However, Russia possesses significantly larger inventory. Given the amount of hardware and personnel Russia can bring to bear, Ukrainian land forces are inferior in every aspect. Its manpower level stands at 57,000 and is 5 times smaller than the Russian army, which is approximately 300,000 strong. Inferiority in land platforms and systems is similar to that of manpower levels. Ukraine can deploy 732 main battle tanks, along with 2,432 infantry fighting vehicles and 1,336 armored personnel carriers. However, the country would most likely find it difficult to sustain them in the theater of operations for any prolonged periods of time. Whereas sustainability could also be an issue for Russia, it can deploy as many as 2,700 main battle tanks. This is supported by over 8,000 other combat vehicles, including light tanks, infantry fighting vehicles, and airborne infantry fighting vehicles and armored personnel carriers. Although both countries possess similar number of towed artillery, Russia fields almost 3 times as many self-propelled artillery pieces and multiple rocket and missile launchers. Of key importance are also surface-to-air missile systems to provide anti-access area denial capability. Numbers here also strongly favor Russia, which can deploy 510 self-propelled SAMs and 1,090 low-altitude air defense systems. Ukraine, on the other hand, only possesses 44 self-propelled SAMs, with no low-altitude air defense systems reported in its land forces inventory.